Hi, everybody. My name is Heather Stockley, and I'm a new face and a new name to the Skin Health Canada team. I joined Skin Health Canada in early March as the Education Manager, Programs and Engagement, and I'm super excited to be part of this vibrant, dynamic team. A little bit about me, just before we get into our presentation today. I've worked in beauty for over 20 years, sharing my passion and inspiration, developing curriculum, education, working with distributors, spas, and clinics all over the world. And what's interesting about today's video content or webinar content is that no matter where I've been or who I speak to, whether it be a friend, a client, a distributor, or a clinic, they all have the same goal with their skin. They want to look 10 years younger. So today in our webinar, we're going to talk about the aging process, some of the functions and mechanisms that are starting to slow down, because yes, the skin starts to get lazy with age, so it needs a reboot or a boot camp. We're going to talk a little bit about developing a journey for your client using Skin90, and then we're going to talk about focused care. So really utilizing targeted, precise products to address the concerns or all the signs of the aging process. So I hope you'll have fun with my presentation. I'm just going to take a moment to pause my video so you can share the slides I'm going to share with you today. And so we're going to talk about skin and the aging process. It's the inevitable. We're all going to age. But, you know, as we get into our 30s and 40s, we're already starting to see some of the symptoms of aging, some of the damage we may have incurred along the way. But we also can start to prevent some of the signs of aging and reverse the signs of aging. So everybody wants the skin that they had in their youth. So here, let's talk about some of the conditions or the signs we see with the aging process. And in this picture, I like to call this the transitions of aging. So on the far left, we see a model. She's probably, in her 40s or 50s. We're starting to see the visible signs of crepiness around the eyes, loss of elasticity. So we often see, due to gravity, loss of elasticity in the lower jaw, where we meet into the neck, often the eyelids. Loss of radiance. The skin starts to lose the healthy glow and the luminosity we had in our youth. So if your eyes scan over to the right-hand portion of this picture, the younger version of this woman, we'll see there was a radiant, clear glow to the skin. With aging, we start to see some pigmentation issues and dark spots. So our melanin is starting to clump. That's because if we've had overexposure to the sun in our youth, the melanin is clumping. And although these spots can be harmless, they're not always something that we have in our ideology of beauty. So just to recap, we see wrinkles and crepiness, especially around the eyes, those crow's feet. Vertical lines around the mouth, so they become stubborn and our lipstick starts to bleed into them. Wrinkles and fine lines on the forehead. Decreased density, loss of volume, so our tissue and our fatty layer starts to diminish. Dull skin, lacking radiance, so that beautiful glow. That's because our skin renewal process is starting to slow down. And the pigmentation concerns, dark spots, which we refer to in the industry as uneven tone. So now that we know a little bit of the symptoms we're looking to treat with our focused care, let's talk about some of the influences and why this is happening. So first of all, on the left-hand side, you'll see a beautiful sports car. It's super sleek, it's smooth, it's contoured, it looks firm, right? Well, with the aging process, our ATP energy is reduced. So that sleek, smooth car, which is our skin, starts to lose its luster. It may start to rust. We see pigmentation spots, and the mechanisms are starting to slow down, which, in the analogy of the cars, needs more maintenance. It needs more special care. ATP energy is reduced. ATP is your adenosine triphosphate. This is in charge of our intracellular processes or cellular communication. So the messaging that is happening between our cells is starting to slow down. ATP energy is in charge of fueling our cells and storing the required energy it needs for all the functions and mechanisms to happen. So this is just one of the examples of the aging process. Next, we have glycation. So when you were young, your mom probably told you, don't consume a lot of sugar. It's bad for your teeth. It's bad for your skin. It's not great for weight. But it also contributes to glycation. So what happens is these sugar molecules are floating around in our body. They adhere to the collagen and elastin fibers, harden, and cause the fibers to snap, just like this pencil. Another analogy I like to use is a spaghetti noodle or a linguine noodle. If you haven't cooked it yet, it's firm, it's hard, but if you hold it between two hands, you can snap it quite easily. Another great example of glycation. So what we want to do in the aging process is strengthen the collagen and elastin fiber network, that mesh that gives us great cohesion between the epidermal and the dermal layer. All right, hormone levels change. And this doesn't just go for women, it goes for men too. Our hormone levels, estrogen and testosterone, are reducing. And in women specifically, when our estrogen starts to deplete, we have less lipids in our skin, less oils to nourish and feed the skin. And overall, again, the renewal process, which was once 28 days, often becomes 4 to 6 weeks, hence the loss of radiance. We have overall lifestyle and health changes. So during COVID, a lot of you may see that you were spending more time at home. So the air quality wasn't changed for you. Maybe you didn't get outdoors enough. Health changes, you know, everything that we do or experience in our life affects our skin. So with health, are we taking supplements? Are we not taking vitamins? Are we relying on a healthy diet or no? All of this affects the aging process. Then our collagen and hyaluronic acid production starts to slow down. So our body is an amazing thing and our skin is our largest organ. And I always talk about optimizing our skin health. Why? If it was easy for us to go to the department store or order a new one online, we wouldn't have skincare and we wouldn't have great treatments with the DF machine or microneedling. So with these collagen and elastin production slowing down, we need to restore this to our skin. So what I love about Environ is we use a lot of biomimetic ingredients or ingredients the body already produces, which really align well with our DNA. Finally, our telomeres are shortening. And if you've never read about telomere technology, please Google after this webinar because it's super important. So here's a quick pic on the left-hand side, showing our body and the exchange of cells. Well, cells are constantly reproducing, and with age, this production or reproduction starts to slow down. Now, the chromosome strands, which host our DNA, every time that cell duplicates, that DNA is transferred to the new cell through the chromosomes, which are called our telomeres. Now, every time the cells divide, the telomerase enzyme is supposed to become activated to repair the tips of the chromosomes. That way they don't shorten. Unfortunately, it doesn't always happen. The telomerase enzyme is not always triggered to do its job. Hence, the chromosome strands shorten each time the cell divides, and eventually we see cell death. So again, our goal in skincare is to make sure we activate the mechanisms such as telomerase enzymes to do their job to help replicate the cells and really encourage telomere sequences. So here's our DNA strand. So we've talked a little bit now about the aging process and some of the things that are going on with the body. So it's so important with our clients to build long-lasting, trustful relationships and to keep them coming back again and again. And that's why I love treatment planning with Skin90. And this philosophy is something I truly believe in because you want to really have a succession plan for your clients, get to know them, and offer them something that is not just for today. It's something that is a goal that they build short-term and ideally long-term. It becomes part of their lifestyle. And I think really encouraging the client to understand they're optimizing their skin health is super important in treatment planning and to be successful with this. So in this next portion of our webinar, I want to share the who, what, when, where, and why, and how, all of those things, the who, what, when, why, where, and how of successful treatment planning. So first of all, we talk about the who, and this is all about discovering your client. Because if you don't know anything about them, how can you give them the best treatment? How can you understand their objectives with their skin and coach them for future skin success? So this is really what I refer to as the discovery phase. So we're talking about what procedures they may have. You know, are they going for fillers and Botox, or is it not really a concern to them? They're happy just to age gracefully, as we say. Have they had any body contouring or plastic surgeries? Then we need to know in the second portion of this form, what are they using or not using at home? And, you know, sometimes the most difficult clients to sell to are the ones who only use water. That makes it a real challenge. And those of you listening can attest to this. Sometimes they're not using an exfoliant because no one's ever told them to, and they didn't really understand the purpose. So here, we're not just discovering what they're using at home, but also brands they may be using, because this helps you assess what sort of ingredients do they know about? How savvy are they? And finally, we talk about their skin assessment and their goals, keeping in mind what they want to work on and what you physically see. Maybe two different things. Some clients come to us and they don't know a lot about skin, so their main objective might be hydration. But you may look at their skin and say, ooh, there's some pigmentation issues, or they have a little bit of rosacea or redness. So here's where we get to align with them, come to a meeting or a happy point where we discover what the goal is going to be and how we're going to progress from here. Next, we have the what. What are we going to do to achieve their goals? So I call this product and professional planning and getting the client's commitment. So here is where we are going to talk about the feed portion of their skin, what we're going to do with product care. Then we're going to talk about boost. This is the professional treatment in clinic. So are we going to be seeing them weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly? And what are our goals? What are the dates required to achieve these goals? And you'll also notice on this form, what is the price going to be? Because again, part of transparency, building trust, and building the relationship is outlining what is the investment they're going to have in their skin. And I think the word investment is super important because again, everybody wants to know budget. And finally, on the bottom of this form, we see target. So we're going to, again, talk about the targeted products that we're going to use to achieve their skin goals. So again, if it's pigmentation, what do we need to achieve this? If it's loss of radiance, what products are going to be used for this? And then on the right-hand side, we talk about some finishing treatments. So I like to call these add-ons, but we'll get to this in a little bit. So just to reinforce what I said in our last slide, investment is huge. Understanding the budget, what it's going to cost them, and how you're going to work together to give them the ultimate plan to achieve their objective. This breaks it down again a little bit more, showing how you can really plan their treatments in clinic, whether it be weekly, monthly, or bi-weekly, and you're actually going to reinforce what that treatment is going to be. So is it going to be a treatment with the DF machine? Is it going to be microneedling? Is it going to be a cool peel? So really helping them see the different modalities and highlight the features of Environ and what we're going to do for them. And again, most importantly, when are we going to do this? How? So going back to our previous slide, what modalities are we going to use? So here on the top of this slide, we see the different conditions. We see aging, dehydration, sensitivity, pigmentation, blemish-prone skin or scarring from acne, body profile, which is, you know, all the different issues of the body, and vitamin therapy. So we can show them the different options. We have the DF facial options, and with aging, we can work on youth reset, frown, and eye. For gentle peel options, we can start with the moisture boost using a cool peel. And I always say moisture boost is a great place to start with a cool peel, because if we don't optimize hydration and moisture levels first, the skin won't be actively ready for subsequent treatment, such as working on melanin or working on radiance. It's kind of like the plant analogy. We have to water the dying plant before we can fertilize it. And we have our microneedling options. So again, we have our microneedling skin rejuvenation that not only helps to firm, sagging, or lax skin, but to restore the youthful, radiant glow. So I love that we have the option of modalities, because here's the thing. If we always suggest that the client have the same, for example, DF facial, we're not showing them our whole lineup or our whole menu of what we can do to achieve their goals. And you know, let's face it, with the internet and so much information out there, people talk, they talk with their friends, they find out what other people are doing. And if you don't coach them that you have the innovation and you have the newness to do something different, then they may go somewhere else. So I love how Skin90 allows us to build a long-term treatment plan. Keeping in mind, we don't necessarily always have to switch the protocol that we're doing, because sometimes we may need to do a specific treatment for a series of 6 to 8, for example. Then we have our home care. Again, this breaks down what we're going to recommend for these specific focused target areas. So again, on the left-hand side, we break down focus care based on the frown or wrinkles, sun damage, problematic skin, pigmentation, dehydration, sensitivity, and we can even focus on the body, because a lot of people think, hey, it's just my body, it's only my face that I have to worry about. Well, the skin works the same from the neck down, so we want to make sure we're attentive to that and talk about the aging process for the body. Earlier, I talked about add-ons. So if their goal is to get introduced, or maybe they're already using Botox, filler, hyaluronic injections, how can we optimize that to incorporate with their professional treatment as well as their home care? So here's our lineup of products we're going to recommend. And keeping in mind, remember, it's so important that clients are going home with a home care regime. I always love to use the dental analogy. You go to the dentist maybe 2 to 3 times per year, but what are you going to do the other 362 days of the year to optimize the health of your teeth or your mouth? You have to brush, you have to floss, mouthwash, and maintain your teeth. Your skin is the same. I always say it's about an 80% to 20% product to treatment ratio that clients really need to be focused on. If your clients leave the treatment room and they go home and they decide they're just going to use, you know, their bar of soap on the face, we've just defeated our purpose. And Environ really has a full range of products to keep it simple, but make sure we're optimizing all this face needs, from cleansing, toning, serum application, moisturizer, eye care, and specialty care such as masks. So without further ado, let's introduce our lineup in focus care, starting with the concentrated alpha hydroxy toner. So this is an alpha hydroxy based on glycolic acid, which is your strongest of the AHAs, but not overly strong that it's going to irritate the skin. So we know alpha hydroxys act like little Pac-Man on the skin. They beautifully refine the texture, the overall radiance of the skin for a more even tone. They can use this morning and night after their cleansing. And for the clients who feel they don't really want to cleanse in the morning, this could be their first step to refresh the skin when they wake up. All right, on the far left, we see the Tri-Biobotanical Revival Mask. This is like the facelift in a jar, and we can use this for 20 minutes, leave it on and remove it. But even better, we can call it the overnight mask for our beauty sleep. We know that when we sleep, a lot of things happen. The body is repairing, regenerating, and healing all the tissues, the muscles, and restoring our cells. So, you know, the great way to say this to our clients is, for your beauty sleep, wear it to bed. You'll wake up with the skin renewed. This is a beautiful blend of azelaic acid, lactic acid, and mandelic acid. And I love lactic acid. Glycolic, again, is our strongest, but lactic is multi-purpose because not only does it nourish and feed the skin with hydration, but it also has gentle exfoliating properties, and probably why Queen Cleopatra loved her milk baths. So this is a great revival mask. It comes with a beautiful brush that they can use to create a ritual of painting their skin every night. well, sorry, not every night, 2 to 3 times per week. Next, we have our peptide-enriched Frown serum, and this is a triple peptide formula. And I love peptides because these are chains of amino acids that deliver very specific messages to the skin. And peptides, depending on what order that chain is developed in the laboratory, will depend what message it's going to give. So in here, we have a hexapeptide arginine pentapeptide, which has a filler effect. So again, it's going to plump the skin from the inside out for a smoother appearance. And it's also going to work on, we have the dipeptide cynic, which is going to work on relaxing the muscles. So, you know, our face has over 43 muscles. We're constantly using it, even when we're not aware. So whether we're talking, even sleeping, sipping out of a straw, those muscles have constant tension. So we are going to relax the muscles for a more relaxed or refreshed appearance. And what I love about this product, it's also going to work on the intracellular communication of the skin. So at the beginning of this presentation, I talked about the exchange of cellular messaging is slowing down with the aging process. This is going to stimulate that. Next, we have our tripeptide complex Avance DFP312 moisturizer. And I always say clients in the past have always come to me and said, well, if I had to use one, a serum or a cream, which one should it be? I pause for a second. The answer is both, because here's the thing, a serum, the formulation of a serum has smaller molecules which have the ability to work at a deeper level in the skin, and the serum has a higher percentage of active ingredients to really target that specific condition. The moisturizer, of course, is still going to have great actives, but it comes in like a blanket and it seals all the actives from the serum into the skin. So they work synergistically together. So our Avance moisturizer is a luxurious cream. It's rich in the Matrixyl 3000, which is defined for collagen repair. So remember we talked about glycation and that our collagen and elastin network was starting to break down. Voila, this is going to be the ingredient that's going to assist with that. Also rich in hyaluronic acid, or HA. So again, it's going to bind more moisture to the skin. So hyaluronic acid has the ability to hold 1,000 times its weight in water. So it's going to help nourish or give that water, not that water, the skin, the thirst quench it needs. And it's got some plant-derived squalene, great NMFs or natural moisturizing factors, and some vitamin E. Next, we have the tripeptide complex plus Avance DFP312 elixir. And this is a multifunctional serum all about the radiance and luminosity of the skin. So to restore the glow of the skin, eliminate that unwanted glow, or sorry, not unwanted, eliminate that unwanted dullness of the skin so that we feel radiant and resilient. Here we have, again, a tripeptide complex. Its ideal recommendation is to go with the Environ Vitamin A moisturizer. It has the Meritage complex, which is going to focus on any pigmentation issue or dark spots. So this is a beautiful choice. And finally, we have our concentrated retinol serums 1 and 2. So in Canada, we have retinol number 1 available, which is rich in retinol and colostrum, and retinol 2, which is rich in retinol, colostrum, retinol palmitate, and retinol acetate. So that's our Focus Care lineup. Again, targeted precision products for very specific ingredients to help prevent and repair the skin that is aging. As always, we have a great promo today. After watching this webinar, you have until March 31st to DM us for your special range giveaway. The code is FCYR2021 to enter for the Try Me Focus Care Youth Plus giveaway. Again, DM us for the giveaway. The deadline is March 31st. And before we go, I just want to stop sharing our screen and say goodbye. I hope you had a great time watching and listening and learning about the aging process. We're going to have more great engaging webinars coming in April. I think we're going to have a great focus. Well, actually, got to keep it a surprise. There's going to be some new product And we have a great virtual conference coming at the end of April. It's the first time that Skin Health has done something so fun. My name is Heather Stockley. If you have any questions, feel free to email the team. It's been a great day. Live beautiful, keep beautiful, and have a super day. Bye for now.